Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now this week's video is a little bit different from me in that I'm not going to be using a film or a film camera to capture the images. Believe it or not, I'm going to be using a digital camera, but a digital camera with a difference. And the camera that I'm going to be using is this. It's the Olympus EPL-1. It's quite an older digital compact nowadays. I think it's 12 megapixels, but this camera's been converted to shoot infrared. And that's what I'm going to do today. I'm waiting for a friend of mine, David, who's coming from Wakefield, and we're going to visit a place called Salts Mill. You've probably seen in my videos, I've been there quite a few times. I've used different cameras to capture the buildings and scenery there, but I've never done it using an infrared camera. So me and David are going there. David's bringing his Rolleiflex, and he's got black and white and colour film. David's very passionate about photography. I'll leave a link in the description to his Instagram feeds if you just check those out and leave him a comment. But David's also agreed to hold my GoPro and photograph me or video me taking the pictures. So basically I'm just going to be walking around seeing any images that I think might make a good infrared photograph, and David will video me doing that. Now I know that infrared's not for everybody, not everybody likes it. But it's a part of photography where you're seeing something that you don't normally see with your eyes, with your normal eyesight. But it is a wavelength of light that's there, and these captures, these type of cameras, whether it be digital or film, capture that wavelength, and I find it quite interesting. And you do get some really great effects from it, very high contrast scenes where you get this white foliage. And sometimes with these type of cameras, you can photograph certain things that don't really look infrared. It just depends on the light and the subject that you're photographing. If you've got a lot of greenery in the scene and you've got bright sunlight, you're going to get this very bright white foliage. If the sun's not as strong, or the sun's partially shrouded by cloud, the infrared effect is not as apparent. So you can get different effects on different days and different weather conditions. But I think it's as I said before, you know, variety is the spice of life, and it's nice to try different types of cameras, and it all adds to the interest in photography, and it helps to keep your interest going out with your camera. So that's what we're going to do today. So David should be here any time. The problem is we've got at the moment, I don't know if you've heard it, it's absolutely throwing it down with rain, but the weather forecast is for it to brighten up, the sun to come out. That's something I really do need for infrared photography. We do need that sun to get that effect, and hopefully dry up. So fingers crossed, when David finally arrives and we get there, we're going to be met by some decent weather. So move on now. I'll let you see the pictures that I took with this little compact Olympus EPL-1 infrared camera. Needs more exposure on this, so I don't look at that one. I know. So we need some need to get closer now. That would look normal. This would look quite normal. power in there. Oh yeah, I like this. Hello. Time when you don't wait for people, they never turn up. They'll come and some walking out. Sun now. See how the lines are in the way they are. just going to pause the video for a moment to say that this picture is for sale on eBay for auction. It's printed on Epsom cold press bright paper, beautiful textured matte paper. It's printed with a delicate warm tone. It'll come signed and titled, and the picture or the print size is 16 by 12. So if you want to help support the channel, go to the link in the description and put a bid in. Right, on with the video. So that's the end of the virtual infrared tour of Salts Mill, but we had one more location to visit, and it's a place that I visited a few weeks back, and on that occasion I photographed this portrait at the end of this red brick building using my Lomo LCA 120 medium format camera. It was loaded with Ilford FP4 black and white film. David also wanted to take a picture of this because he's a Leeds United supporter, and I think he shot colour film and his Rolleiflex, and it's a picture of the ex-Leeds United manager who got them back into the Premier League, Marcelo Bielsa. So David had a vested interest in this. I also wanted to take this picture but just to show the difference between the infrared picture and the normal picture I took with the LCA 120, just to show the impact that the infrared camera can give. I also walked around the building taking pictures of flaking paint, the interior of it, and tried to get an abstract picture of a window at the side of it. So it was the end of a really enjoyable day, and let's look at the final part of the video. So that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I didn't overpower you with too many infrared pictures. I did take quite a lot, but the fact that David was doing the videoing, it just freed me up to concentrate more on the photographic process. So I tried to come up with a selection of images, from the iconic scenes to just thinking out of the box and coming up with pictures that are slightly different. So there is a nice selection to look at. The fact that David was using a video camera, not just videoing me, but videoing the areas that we were walking around with the video camera, the GoPro, it just gives you an idea of how wonderful a place Salts Mill is. And I hope by watching this video, you don't have to go with an infrared camera, go with your normal camera, with it, be it digital or film. But I hope it's inspired you to go there and just visit the place and just enjoy it, and I can guarantee you'll come back with some really nice pictures. So it's a place that's well worth visiting, and I put that on your, what they might call your bucket list. Now the weather when we got there was it dried up, the rain had stopped and it dried up, and it was quite bright, so we got the maximum sort of infrared effect. But as the day went on, the light intensity got a little bit duller, and in some ways I'm glad it did that, because it shows that you don't need full sunlight to use an infrared camera. The intensity as the light drops of the infrared effect lessens, but it doesn't mean to say you can't take the pictures as you've seen in the video here. You can still take pictures in lower light, although I have to say that the brighter the light, the better the effect. Now the Olympus EPL-1 camera worked flawlessly. This camera's been converted and it shoots a wavelength of 720 nm, that's nanometers, that's how it's measured. It's a wavelength that I like, it's not too pronounced. You can get stronger effects, but I quite like this. Using this camera is not easy if you haven't got a external electronic viewfinder. It's very difficult to see the preview in bright light, and that's why I bought this as an extra for this camera. But I didn't really look at the preview. I tended to just concentrate on the histogram, making sure that the histogram was stacked more to the right hand side, to the highlight side. I didn't want to underexpose the pictures, because if I did that I would have spoiled the infrared effect. So a great little camera, and you don't have to spend a lot of money to get into infrared photography. If you've got film cameras, just buy some infrared film. If you look on eBay, you can see some of these older cameras converted, and they work perfectly well for infrared, and you don't have to pay a lot of money. You might ask why I used a digital camera, being a film user, and the simple answer is I bought this a few years ago and I thought, well, why not use it? It saves me buying a roll of infrared film, and you get very, very similar effects. So a very enjoyable few hours that we spent walking around there, and at the last location photographing the Leeds United, ex-Leeds United manager Marcelo Bielsa. Now a word about the channel. I started this channel, I think it was December 2019, and since then it's gone way beyond my expectations. The subscribers now are nearly 7,500 subscribers. The actual views over 500,000 now, and I'd like to thank everybody for supporting me, because it's not just about me putting videos on, it's about the people that watch the videos, that comment on those videos, and subscribe to the channel. That makes these channels on YouTube more popular. So I'd like to say thank you to everybody that's subscribed to the channel, that's made comments, that supported the channel in whatever way that you've done it. I'm really grateful for that, and it inspires me to carry on and create more content. Right, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like, subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, please leave them below and I'll get back to you. And as I always say, stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next video.